What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's a special one because Rosalia just dropped. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. Rosalia, the Catalan Spanish artist, just dropped her first single of her new album, Lux, and I'm, as you can see, very excited. Rosalia, it's an artist that I've admired very much, not only because of her music, which is really cool, but because of her artistic embodiment. She's someone that, if you followed her career on the previous albums, she's someone that carries her concept through and through, all the way from beginning to end. And I think that's something admirable. And not only is it like on the visual side of things, but also the themes and everything that the album surrounds and penetrates, and everything that has anything to do with the album, it's kind of like encompassed or funneled through the same concept. And I think that's, something very, very, very special. And there's very few artists doing it at the level she's doing it. Her previous project, Motomami, was absolutely incredible from a visual aspect and from textures, conceptualization, and everything that had to do with the album. You could almost recognize instantly. And Motomami even became a thing. Like, it almost became like an adjective. Like, it became almost a thing that people identified with. And I think that's something very powerful. That's kind of like what you want. You want to see or you want to feel something, and you want to think, in this case, Motomami. Her previous work before Motomami was El Mal Querer, which was an incredible album. Another album that not only musically was incredible, but also the visuals were very, very powerful. In this case, today we get Berghain. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think it's in German. And this is the first single of her new album. The interesting thing is that this single is featuring the artist Björk and Yves Tumor, I think it's pronounced. But the really interesting thing I find about Björk being in a song with Rosalia, it's that I feel like from a visual standpoint and artistically, Björk is probably someone that influenced Rosalia a lot. It's also like very classically approached, just like Rosalia. One thing you should know is that she's classically trained and that she carries her roots, her culture, and everything that kind of like made her who she is, one of them being classical flamenco music. She waves that flag proudly, and I think that's something very special, and I'm super duper excited about this video. Another interesting thing to point is that one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, it's because her visual work, it's always so powerful, because again, it's thought through so precisely. And so people who do their videos, it's a production company called Canada, which, to put it simply, it's almost like an A24 doing music videos type of thing, right? Very artistic, very like art lenient, which, it's not as common. And funny enough, one of my favorite music videos ever was directed by them. It's Bombay by Guincho. If you're interested in watching that video that inspired me, I'm gonna leave it in the description. But in this case, this video, it's directed by Nicolas Mendes and it's produced by Canada, which again, similar to A24, they curate the roster and they curate the work that they almost kind of like brand their name with very carefully. So extremely excited about this. So without further ado, guys, Rosalia, Björk, Yves Tumor, Berghain, let's go. By the way, also worth mentioning, I have not heard the song yet, so I'm excited. I'm already loving this. Let's go. One thing that, sorry, I'm like mesmerized. One thing that's extremely unique to Canada's music videos, the production company, is that they have a tendency of doing a lot of vignette-based videos, which is a collection of different scenes that in some way, shape, or form represent or connect to the concept or the core concept of the song. And they can find a way to intertwine them without them necessarily making sense as a whole. Don't know if that's the case, but they always have a mix between like wide shots, mid shots, and they use close-ups a lot. So I saw this little gilded heart, and do we have a vignette video? Notice her eyes. This is so beautifully shot, by the way. Oh my god. WDP. The key light here on her eye, we could see it. Beautifully shot. The fall off on her face, it's ridiculous. WDP. I love the little wings on her eyes. It's like she has the lashes, and then on top of the lashes, like almost over them, she has the little wing, which again, Lux. And if you saw the cover for the album, this one right here, she almost looks like a nun. So I'm wondering if this has anything to do with her kind of like embracing. This is not what I expected. Good thing I mentioned it earlier on the video. One thing that's very unique to Rosalia, it's that she carries her roots through and through. And she is someone who's classically trained, and she uses those techniques throughout her songs. Even if she's coming out with like a reggaeton song, like you'll hear the influence. So having her first single of her new era be, or I mean, I don't know if be, we're only 58 seconds into the song, but start like this. Shocking. I love this shot, by the way. Something extremely powerful about this shot, it's that the light coming from the window, it's so bright that we can't almost make out, well, I mean, not almost, we can't make out what's outside the window. They're not even trying to, make an effort for us to see it. Instead, what they're doing is that they're using whatever she's ironing. I don't know if it's a drape, or I don't know if it's like a, I don't know, whatever. That piece of fabric that she's ironing pops automatically, especially since the entire orchestra, it's wearing a suit. They're wearing black and white, or just plain black, like the chorus behind her. And she's also wearing white, So it's thought out so precisely. Not only she's in the center and the rest of them are kind of like around her wearing black. That already itself makes her stand out. But then the fact that she's ironing the red, which I'm guessing we'll find out why she's doing that, makes her pop so much more. Also, if you notice, the entire chorus, it's only being lit by the backlight. You could see it here on their faces. You could see it here on their faces. In the case of this person here playing the cello and the guy playing the trumpet, they're only getting lit from behind, from the window light. And in the case of Rosalia, she has her own key light right here on the front, which again, another technique to make her stand out. And I love the fact that everyone's kind of like cramped into like this little European apartment. You also, something that was very prominent in her El Mal Querer era, it's the use of religious imagery. And again, if you look at the cover artwork for Lux, the upcoming album, I think she almost looks like a nun. At the beginning, we saw it on her shoes. She had crosses on her feet. So I don't know if the theme of this album is going to be religious, but it's really interesting to see how much of it we're seeing already. Like we see it here. This almost looks like the Sacred Heart of Jesus. I think that's what it's called. And yeah, the sound is so striking that it almost makes the visuals feel striking as well. So, wow. This shot's beautiful, man. I'm obsessed with this. I love the sunglasses too. I'm trying to connect the dots here, so I don't know, like there has to be something with the color usage, because now she's wearing like almost like gray tones. So I don't know if this is some sort of like in-between phase. Heart rate monitor. Yeah, you see heart. We already saw a heart previously on the other shot, so. Oh, wow. Beautiful shot. I love the balance, contrast and saturation balance, and the temperature balance that we have in the shot. If you notice, it's almost like cut diagonally, where we have a half of it be warm and the other half it's almost daylight. So it creates like this beautiful contrast without it being super saturated. She's at the jeweler. I wonder if this has anything to do with her engagement to Raúl Alejandro. Dude, I love the way they shot this. Like the way they exposed the daylight. Because normally when we expose for daylight, even though the light of the day outside has a tendency of being almost like middle point, where it's not too warm, it's not too cold. I feel like they're leaning a little bit more towards the cold, and I'm sure that has a meaning, especially because of the whole white, black, and gray factor. But it just looks so beautiful. It makes it look a little somber, and I think that's the point. It has to be. You see, especially when we're getting such different color temperatures. And I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I feel like her kind of like going everywhere with this orchestra. This orchestra has to have some sort of like, you know, deeper meaning as to whether she's kind of like carrying her demons around everywhere. Wow, that editing is insane. And it's such a basic thing. Like like what they did on editing. It's so basic, but it's so powerful. Wow. This feels like this is giving Judgment Day. Let's get on that close up real quick. I want to kind of like dissect this a little bit because this reminds me of El Mal Querer cover artwork. It has the same vibe to it. So this is definitely the Sacred Heart of Christ or Jesus. Not really sure what's the official name, but it's almost like, if you notice, it's obviously a heart. We have the crown of thorns from Jesus, and then behind it, it almost looks like wings. I mean, on top we have the cross, obviously, but behind it, it almost looks like feathers. It looks like fuzzy. So I don't know what that represents. It has, I mean, I'm sure it's like her heart or her stage on the vocals. I wonder what's happening here in the bathroom. Powerful, super powerful shot. Again, clearly shot in Europe. Super, super narrow hallways. I love the arched ceiling too. It gives it such a interesting character to it. And if you notice, something really cool they're doing is that it's all, I mean, not necessarily natural light, but we don't see any of the fixtures because it's all being lit from outside. They're trying to replicate what this feels like on a day-to-day basis. And it's really cool because since most of the orchestra, it's kind of like pushed back, a lot of them are kind of like in the dark. And the way they cut the shot, we start seeing Rosalia almost when she starts stepping into the light. So again, I feel like whenever we see her on this like green grayish outfit, I feel like she's almost like in a transitional period. What the heck?
Fuck you till you love me. Till you love me. Till you love me. Till you love me.
Wait. We gotta run that back. Wait. Oh my god. So she's almost like in this living room, almost like an enchanted forest. All the animals kind of like come close to her. Very Disney-like. I'm assuming not for a good reason, because then this little baby deer starts crying black tears. Oh my god. I love this slow shutter effect on the little deer, but I wonder what that means. Little Bambi boy.
I'll fuck you till you love me.
Oh. Okay, wait. We gotta run that back a little bit. So the significance of the heart, it's very prominent. This is probably, since, I mean, we have to take into account the fact that this is the first single of her new era. So whatever we're seeing here, it's probably going to be a recurring theme, or at least to a certain extent, right? So she's clearly having some sort of like nightmare with the whole F me till you love me. But we see the animals moving. We see the, I guess, whatever represents this violinist. She can't sleep, that's for sure. Tossing and turning all night. I think there's something interesting to her outfit right here. Wearing white, what looks like silver buttons that will probably, you know, glimmer. We have the heart. Dude, this is such a subtle detail. The little feather on her eyes that it's almost. Oh wow. She turned into a dove. And if you notice, again, heavy significance on this for sure, which we won't know until we see the following music videos. But notice how the dove, it's black on the top and white at the bottom. There has to be some sort of like duality factor here. Again, we're getting a lot of like that gray-ish, almost transitional period. We have the looks on white. We have a couple of them on the black here. Wow, guys. I mean, honestly, incredible visuals. Very visually and audibly striking. Like, I don't even know what to think. It's crazy. I mean, one thing that I do must say, it's that while the music, it's like very like... you know, powerful and like it sets you back automatically. It's a very odd choice for a single, especially, you know, where we come from. I don't know, this seems like a really odd choice, but a very powerful one for sure. The visuals were incredible. I absolutely loved them. But you know, like anything she puts out, this has an incredible emotional weight, but more than that, it has an incredible attention to detail and a meticulously crafted, creative concept and execution as well. So I don't know, it's just one of those that I feel like we're only getting certain pieces and we don't really know what the whole puzzle looks like yet, but it's incredible. Even if this is the only thing we'll get, I can walk away out of this and be like, that was an incredible video. And I certainly believe that there's something to the fact that wherever she goes, the orchestra follows. I guess we'll see what's next, you know. One interesting thing that I must mention is that I pre-ordered the vinyl, so we're gonna be analyzing the creative concept fully once we get the vinyl. So if you don't know anything about me, my name is Gara. I'm a multidisciplinary artist here in LA. You can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. You can go to my website if you want to check out some of my portfolio. But in whatever case, guys, thank you for watching. Sub up, like up, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.